what we need to do around wind turbines. This will be also about jobs. Back to the point about how do we pay for things. Well, yeah, it's going to require some investment in renewable industries, but it's going to also result in job creation. So there are multiple benefits, but you're right, we cannot let you down. You have asked for us to take this seriously. You know how urgent it is in a way that we better really come to terms with and act on. And so I thank you for that question.
Okay. Gentlemen, straight back for me. I think it's kind of a green, long-sleevish shirt. Yes.
Beard!
She has a beard! Also Tom, it's very
And a
straight.
ginger!
Hey Ryan, let's go, man.
Okay, not too loud. So my question is about higher education policy, not just the student loan debt crisis, which is vital, but also the collapse of funding for public universities, community colleges nationwide. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's a great absolutely right. And so part of it is what we need to do around tuition-free community college and debt-free college. It is also about rethinking how we are doing higher education. And so I'm going to offer you this point. One, it is about investment in our public universities and colleges. There's no question. Some of the best work that has happened in our nation has come out of our public universities and colleges. And we have to invest in them. And it's about the work that is happening there in terms of research and the work that is happening in terms of obviously being in touch with what is happening at a local level and producing the next generation of leaders that are relevant to local communities. That being said, I'm going to also offer you this point. I think we have to rethink the way that we've been talking about higher education. Because part of the concern I have is this. On the issue of higher education, we tend to believe that that's about college and university in a way that we give, understandably, value to those who have a college education, but also in a way that we are lessening societally the value of those who do not have a college education. And we're doing ourselves a great disservice. We're doing ourselves a great disservice. And I'll tell you also, a pet peeve of mine is to hear this term unskilled labor. All labor requires a skill. And so we also have to understand that. So what I would propose in terms of policy going forward is that perhaps we think about changing the way we actually talk about it in a way that we talk about it as education after high school. And then understand there are many tracks for education after high school. And one track may be college and university. Another track may be to do an apprenticeship, to get the certificate that will get you the job that we actually need performed and for which there's incredible value to society and is noble, good work. I would suggest that we think of it that way. And then I'll throw this out for you, because I think a lot about this. The Bureau of Labor Statistics came out with a list mid-last year of the 20 jobs in the United States that are going to see the greatest amount of growth between 2016 and 2026. And, okay, let's have an interactive moment here. 20 jobs that are going to see the greatest amount of growth between 2016 and 2026. Okay, I'll ask you, what do you think is number one and number two on the list? Heating and cooling, you're actually hot, you're in the area. Because most people guess rightly, something about technology or public health, and actually the majority of the jobs on that list relate to public health and health delivery. Number one and number two, installation and maintenance of wind turbines and solar paneling. So back to the point, and so they're on that list because these are jobs that we need performed and for which we don't necessarily have and are not giving attention to the skills and developing the skills that can actually perform those jobs. So when I talk to my friends at the building trades, they're like, Kamala, yeah, well, you know what? So let's not come up with fancy names for those jobs. You know what those jobs are? Those are the jobs we've been doing apprenticeships for years. That's welding, pipe fitting, electricians, right? So as we think about education after high school, it's in addition to investing in our public colleges and universities. We also have to invest in developing the skills of folks who are performing very valuable work and important work, and really collaborating with our educational institutions, with the folks who are doing the building trades, with the private sector who can tell us the jobs that they need filled and the skills that are required to fill those jobs. And I think there's a great amount of potential there, but we have to focus on that. Yeah. Thank you.
Going over here, I think you were in a scarf that's kind of white. Yes.
Hi, my name is Bree, and I'm a counselor advocate for sexual assault victims. I'm struggling with two things right now: the mental health crisis in Iowa, and also the backlog of testing kits. I was told not to be angry because we have a 9-month backlog, because Virginia just tested 2-decade-old kids. So what can you do to help me?
So thank you for the work you do, Bree, because that's tough work. And I specialized for a while in sexual assault cases as a prosecutor, and the work that you're doing is about giving people a safe place to know that they have value and that we will support them, and also to help people who have endured incredible trauma heal. And so thank you. That is selfless, extraordinary work that takes a lot out of you. On the issue of rape kits, and I actually, when I became Attorney General of California, we had a huge backlog of rape kits, and I said, you know what? Don't tell me about the expense of getting them done. Every day in the life of a survivor who has to wait around for that kit to be tested is a day in the life of someone who's concerned, because look, if you need the kit tested, it's because we don't know the identity of the person. So every day that we have to wait for that kit to come back is a day that that survivor is sitting at home concerned and worried out of their mind that that person may come back because he hasn't yet been caught. Every day in the life of that survivor where that kit is not tested is a day where the perpetrator thinks he got away with it. And God knows what that means in terms of what he's likely to do again. It's a huge issue. And I would urge everybody here, because this is a huge room of leaders, that everybody get on board with putting the pressure on, it's probably your Health and Human Services and maybe your Department of Justice, to say test those kits and put the money into testing those kits. Money should not be the reason that those victims and our society goes without justice. And listen, there's a really beautiful thing about the way we designed our system of justice, flawed though it may be. But I was always proud to stand in a courtroom and say, Kamala Harris for the people. And the reason that anything that we do in the criminal justice system reads for the people is because in our system of justice, we have designed it such that we rightly say, a harm against any one of us is a harm against all of us. And so a day without justice for those survivors is a day without justice for the community. And I would urge that we do that. And then in terms of what we need to do at the federal level, listen, the United States Department of Justice has got to focus on these issues and bring resources to local communities where they otherwise don't exist. And that should be a priority there if it's not a priority here. Thank you for speaking.
So you're right over here in the black jacket, I think? Yes, yes.
Hello, Senator Harris. I want to paint a very simple hypothetical. So it's 2021 and there's unified Democratic control in Washington, right? All the way towards that. But so you're the head of that, and in the Senate it's 53 seats, best case scenario, right? Would you advise the Senate Majority Leader to abolish the filibuster, or to keep it? And just getting a really, articulated defense on wherever you come down on that issue.
That's a great question. Let's change the subject. That's a difficult one, and I'm conflicted, to be honest with you. I mean, I definitely believe that it is important to understand that when you have the ability to make decisions like who's going to be the next Supreme Court justice and have a lifetime appointment, that there's not a lot of time for that to happen, and you need to make sure that we have people who serve on the court who are unbiased and who uphold the integrity of the court and have demonstrated their ability to actually treat all people as equals and with dignity and respect the process. At the same time, there is something that I value also about upholding the integrity of the system in terms of saying there should be, when we're talking about lifetime appointments, there should be consensus that we have 60 people who can make a decision together about what is in the best interest of our country. And so, very frankly, I'm conflicted about it. We have seen great abuse, as far as I'm concerned, in the last 2 years. I think but you're presenting a wonderful question that really is it's an existential question. It's an important one. Who are we on these kinds of issues? I'll share with you a conversation that happened around the fight for the Affordable Care Act, which for 7 years the Republicans were trying to get rid of. They slapped the name Obama on it, and then they thought that would kill it, and then this administration came in, made it their first priority, but the people spoke and marched, and it was incredible the kind of courage people showed. And then you guys may remember that it was like 2 o'clock in the morning, and the late, great John McCain did that. But it was a treacherous fight, and there were many days during the course of that battle where people said, that's never going to happen, we're never going to win, we're never going to keep it. And within the Democratic caucus, there were days where folks were like, well, forget it. Let them win, and then we'll win the next election cycle because people will see how bad it is. Because people were tired, and they didn't really mean that, but it was just like, bleep it, right? And then, but we always came back to, but that's not our nature. That's not who we are. And we can't let people suffer for an immediate win or political win. So it's a great question. I'm happy to have the conversation more extensively. Sorry I can't get more than that right now, but thank you.
I wish more than anything that we had time for like 50 more questions, but I was told to wrap it up, so I'm going to go with the young woman over here, long brown hair.
My name is Anna, and I'm a junior in high school, and the 2020 presidential election will be one of the first times I'll be able to vote. And I deal with the struggle every day, worrying about my choice of birth control being taken away, because I use it in order to function and protect myself from a hereditary disease that I could get. And so what is your plan on protecting women's rights to choose and just their rights in general?